sometimes you forget what it feels like to see a genuinely good movie. So yeah, big thumbs up on this one. Liked it a lot. I remember when I first saw the trailer for it, my initial thought was, oh man, they're remaking this again, because this is one of those ones, Agatha Christie films are some of those ones that are just, they're done over and over and over again, either on the big screen, or they're done for maybe PBS or something like that. So this one's had quite a few versions of it, and my first feeling was, oh, we're doing this again. But I got to thinking about it and thought, that's how you keep these stories fresh. It's how you introduce them to a new generation, to the next group coming up. But that's how some of these authors stay relevant. It'd be great if everybody was raised on Turner Classic Movies like I was, but not everybody was, and sometimes you need a new telling from a new director with a eclectic cast to keep it in the public eye, and maybe some kid's gonna see it and go, "Ooh, I want to read the books, or I want to know more about Hercule Poirot, or I want to read some Miss Marple or something like that." So the more I thought about it, the more I thought, this is a good thing. And having seen it now, I can say, yeah, it's definitely a good thing. This is a good, solid movie, and for someone like me, like this is, I love these things. This is gonna sound weird because I was trying to phrase this in my head while the credits were rolling. I love murder mysteries, but I don't like, the gory, gritty, chasing some psycho all around and deadly games of cat and mouse. I like, it sounds dumb to say, but I like fun murder mysteries. I like Columbo. And, like I say, I was raised on Scooby-Doo. I mean, I like mysteries, but I don't want them to be so blood-curdlingly horrific, that I can't sleep at night. I like ones like this. And so this movie is like tailor-made for someone like me. So for anybody who doesn't know, I'm not going to give away spoilers, even though this is based on a book that was written, I don't even know when it was written, but it's like I say, it's had several iterations. It's been out for a while, so it's not. I don't know how much of a spoiler it can be, but I'm not going to spoil anything. So this is a Hercule Poirot mystery, as played by Kenneth Branagh. Hercule Poirot being one of the Agatha Christie's big sellers, one of her recurring detective characters, and on a train from, I believe it's Jerusalem, heading to, I want to say Istanbul, but I could be wrong about that. Traveling with, very eccentric cast of characters on this train, there's a murder. And the train is stopped by an avalanche. So naturally, the murder has to be someone on the train. Poirot is the world's greatest detective and has to solve the crime. I mean, it's dirt simple, very simple setup, but when you get into it and the complexities of the story, get unraveled, you see that it's much more complex. You also see how this story and a lot of the Agatha Christie stories are kind of the blueprint for kind of modern day murder mysteries. You kind of, young people going and seeing it will probably, seeing it for the first time, and go, well, I've seen that done 100 times on this, and this. It's like, well, yeah, but this was one of the first times. This was the blueprint, So there's a lot to like about this movie. Let me talk about the one thing I didn't like, because there's only one thing I didn't like, and it was kind of a big thing. Not enough to ruin the movie for me, but enough to kind of knock it down just a little bit in my opinion of it. And that is the directing. It's directed by Kenneth Branagh, and I didn't know that going in. I waited for the credits to kind of see who it was directed by, because I was going to lay into that person. And when Kenneth Branagh's name came up, I was like, oh, really? I usually like his stuff. What? So the directing in this is pretty pretentious and obnoxious. There is a lot of shots and things that he does that are just that run the range from annoying to on the nose to a little nauseating. Like nauseating in that, like, when Poirot first gets on the train, there's this extended scene with no cuts where he's walking with Michelle Pfeiffer from one car that he gets on all the way through to like the living quarters, the berths. So they're walking through. It's shot from the outside of the train, and it's following them through the windows. Now that sounds good, but you gotta remember, train windows, especially further back, there's like window, wood, window, wood, window, wood. So you get a quick glimpse of them, and then they're obscured by 3 or 4 seconds of like nothingness. Then you get another quick glimpse of them in another room, and then they're gone again. All this while the dialogue's going on. Keep in mind, this is our introduction to Michelle Pfeiffer's character, so we really don't get to see her or listen to her or anything like that. It's just, and for me at least, and I don't know if it's maybe just because I'm tired, and it's that constant, this thing was kind of making me a bit dizzy, and then made me nauseous. There is an extended shot when they first discover the murder. They first discover the body. That's all shot from the bird's eye view, shot from above. And that'd be cute if it was there for a second, but it's there for like 3 or 4 minutes. And it's irritating. And like, worst of all, there's this moment at the end when he's gathering all the suspects together to declare who the murderer is. And they're all sitting, it's like 12 suspects, they're all sitting at these long tables, and of course they're arranged like the Last Supper. And it was like, oh, really? The CGI in this also is fake and awful as hell. And there's one shot, Elizabeth saw with me, and she was pointing out, there's one shot that's like, it is an extended green screen, and it is such an obvious green screen. Which number one, and I honestly feel, I don't care what your budget is these days, this day and age, I don't think there's any excuse for, a questionable green screens. Second of all, why do that? This is a film that demands practical effects, and especially when so much of it is a costume drama and taking place in this, this gorgeous train set. The bad CGI just stick out like a sore thumb. There are times I'm watching it, I was really proud of this line too, and I'm feeling like I'm watching Murder on the Hogwarts Express. Ha-ha! Ba-doom-ching! Sorry, I was really proud of that. It sounded good in my head. So, I was not a fan of the directing. Now, that being said, I wanted to get that out of the way because I really like this movie. And the only thing I can bitch about is the directing, and unfortunately there's a lot to bitch about. But the film itself is solid and awesome. The best thing I can say is like the acting in this and the character and the actors they got. Man, this is a great cast. This film, this is why Agatha Christie movies and books and plays are still so popular. Right now, I know there's at least 2 high schools around town. One doing The Mousetrap and one doing Witness for the Prosecution. And this is why, because her books have such a great cast of unique and interesting and fun to play and watch characters. And they put together an amazing cast for this one. I love, there's only one Hercule Poirot for me, and that's, I can never remember the guy's name, but it's, he played him for all the PBS ones, but Kenneth Branagh does a great job, and oh my god, his mustache is awesome. One of the defining traits of Poirot is the mustache, and his mustache is, it gives Kurt Russell's man-stache from Deepwater Horizon a run for its money for best facial hair in a movie. Like, I don't know if it's real or not, but if it is, damn, Ken, Thumbs up for that mustache. But his performance is great. It's everything Poirot should be. He's witty. He's funny. He's a little OCD. It's just a really great performance. Michelle Pfeiffer shows she's still got it. Mainstays like Willem Dafoe and Judi Dench, they all do their great work. Big thumbs up. Got to give big thumbs up to Johnny Depp. To Johnny Depp as the villain, or as the guy who gets murdered. Because, it's easy to forget, because it's what he's done for so long, that Johnny Depp used to be a great actor. And was, in fact, one of the most interesting actors working, because he did all these eclectic and incredibly different roles for a long time. And then it became wear makeup and put on this stupid hat and prance around and act like a nut. And that became his thing. It's been his thing for almost a decade, maybe longer. But at one point, Johnny Depp was a phenomenal actor and a very understated actor. And this role, small though it is a real return to form for him. And it's kind of thing you watch and go, holy shit, Johnny Depp is a good actor still. I remember this, So big ups to him on that. As you can probably guess, or at least as I kind of feel, this film, I think they're trying. They don't youth it up, to try to, they don't try to make it hip and cool for, the kids. But you can tell from the casting and the advertising that they're really trying to get younger people into it. And, so they cast not just kind of the mainstays and the tentpoles, but they cast a lot of really great young actors in it. Josh Gad did a really nice job in it. Daisy, name I can never remember, but, Rey from the new Star Wars films is in it, and she's phenomenal. The acting in this, top notch. And on a film like this, that's what you need. You need a good cast, all of them pulling their weight, all of them, moving in the same direction. This is the definition of an ensemble cast, and it worked beautifully. The only thing I can think of to say negative about the acting, and it's not really about the acting, is that the acting's so good, you wish you could have spent more time with all the different characters and gotten to know them a little bit better. Some of the characters that felt like you didn't get as much time with, so you didn't really know them. There's two characters, they disappear. They're introduced at the beginning when everybody's kind of getting on the train, and then you don't see them until like almost halfway through the film. You're like, oh, I totally forgot about you, And Elizabeth again pointed out wisely that but it's 12 characters. I mean, you gotta, that's not easy to balance, and you're trying to tell a murder mystery along with it. So minor thing, but I can't think of much to say against this film. I also really like, if you're an Agatha Christie fan, at the very end, again, not giving away spoilers, at the very end, Poirot solves the mystery and he's off the train, and someone comes to him and says, we have to, there's been another murder that they need you for Death in the Nile, which is another Agatha Christie book. And it's just there as kind of a cute little, nod to the fans. But I really hope they do another one of these. I really do. I miss the days of the detective film series. Again, if you watch Turner Classic Movies like I do, you'll know that, that was once the way these things were done. There were huge, film libraries, sometimes multiple actors playing the same role, and they bring out a film every couple of years. The Thin Man, Charlie Chan, Mr. Wong, Torchy Blaine, Boston Blackie. This is, of course, when these films were a lot cheaper to do, and you could do them like in 2 weeks or something like that. But I miss those, and I would love it if they did a whole series of these with Kenneth Branagh as Poirot, and a new cast each time. I think it'd be great. I would be so down for that, because because again, I love fun murder mysteries. I love them. So if you've never seen an Agatha Christie, if you've never, never experienced it, never read a book, never saw one of the movies or been in one of the plays or whatever, go see this. This is a great introduction. And yeah, it's a little hokey. And yeah, the plot, the twist at the end is, I think it's awesome, but, realistically, and for a generation that's been raised on realistic detectives and cop shows and everything, I would imagine there will be some groans, but put that kind of stuff out of your mind and enjoy it for what it is, for the type of murder mystery it is. That, again, not a hard-boiled detective, not, a detective with a drinking problem, not a mass serial killer who's leaving heads and organs all over the place. So of course the ending is a little overly dramatic and a little, you did it, dun dun dun, but go see this, young people, go see it. It's great, and hopefully it introduces you to this genre that's been around since before many of us were born. And if you are a fan of Agatha Christie, if you have, enjoyed previous versions of this story and others, you're gonna like this. Does it hold up to the other ones? That's a hard question to answer, because, again, unlike a lot of these where, there's like one definitive version and everything else has been a sorry, or a watered down takeoff, I don't feel, at least from my opinion, that there has been a definitive version of this. I think there have been different takes, there have been different generations, but a definitive version, I don't really think so. So I think, it's kind of like Sense and Sensibility or Pride and Prejudice. There are a lot of different versions, and it just depends on your taste. So some people just like to see all of them because they're fans of the author, and in that case, you're gonna like this. So yeah, I dug this. I dug this a lot. Glad I saw it. Glad that it turned out to be. I'm glad I gave it a shot. So yeah, check it out and have a good time. So that's it for me. Got nothing really to wrap up here. So everybody wish me luck. I have a big test I have to take on Saturday for to prove that I know how to teach people, and I've been studying for it, so I'm kind of freaking out, but I'm ready, or I'm ready as I'm gonna be. So let's just do this. So wish me luck. Either way, I'll be back to review movies, either to take out my frustrations on them or to celebrate, one of the two. So anyway, wish me luck. I wish all of you luck both on the weekend, and until next time, drive safe, and I will see you at the movies.